So maybe just look at the change with Lawrence coming in at flank. But why maybe you might need Franco to flank him?
I knew you would ask that first, but yeah, no, it's just a bit of horses for courses, a bit of tactical thinking. Not much in it. Our 4, 5 and 7 in general attack play together a lot, so it's just Franco's just doing so well at lock lately. So we just feel it's a bit, but we might swap the roles there at certain stages.
How often has Lawrence actually played flank himself? Because you don't really know much of him as a flank.
Yeah, he's played number 8 as a 21 player. He played loose forward at school at Varsfontein, and he's familiar with that. It's more a case of the team than just who's 5 or who's 7. You'll see on the field, we will move them around.
Are you looking for different dynamic from him as well?
Yes, yeah. I don't know if you guys can recall in the game when he came on the pace he showed, moving across the park, and it's going to be 3 o'clock. The air will be thin, and he'll be valuable.
So much of a blow is it not to have Kyle though, who's been one of your stand-up players this year?
It's a huge blow, definitely. For any team, Kyle will be a... But we trust our system, we trust in the guys, standing in. As you guys can recall, at the stage in the season, we lost our whole spine, Ross included, plus Malcolm and Warren Whiteley with Krule out, and Cormoran, the whole spine wasn't there, so the other guys stood in, and they, in fact, the other guys got us here back on track again, so that the guys can play again.
Just we heard the other day that Jacob Kiel was training with the side. Was there absolutely no chance of him ever being ready for a match like that?
Close, but no, he's not ready. He's got a few weeks left. End of August, I just heard is his date of return.
Swys, there was a lot of noise last week about you guys valuing style over substance, given that you guys want to score tries and stuff. So I suppose you must be immensely chuffed that last week, then afterwards, everybody was saying you played such a balanced game and stuff, and you actually mixed style with substance. You must be really happy with how you guys just took your opportunities and how it almost like sets a marker for the rest of the playoffs.
Yes, I was proud of on the decision makers on the day. You know, what we do send the tee up if we think go for poles, and on both occasions when Waza saw the tee with the time, I think it was 13 points ahead, so you make it 16, they've got to score 3 times. So you're looking at as I said last time, you're looking at where you're on the field, how the play's feeling, how's the scrums looking, the maul's looking, and obviously Elton's boot was on. Absolutely on song. He just hit it through the middle. So you take all those in consideration before you make those calls.
Ross, how important is your role in terms of tactical kicking, knowing the way the Waratahs counter-attack and how good they are in the air, especially the box kicks?
Yeah, obviously if I kick, it's got to be on point. And we've got to have competitors in the air. If I have a good kick without a good chase, I mean, then it's technically a bad kick. So yeah, we've got to make sure that if we do kick, we know they've got a good counter attack. So if we do kick, we got to do it properly.
Ross, in Sydney, in that win, the victory there, Dylan Smith actually almost opened up the game with a short little kick over the scrum that led to a try by, I think it was Ron Cornwall, if I remember correctly. And that was like a bit of a turning point at that stage and so on. Is that something that could come into play? They are not just high kicks, but
that's just something off the cuff. Individual brilliance from the two of them. If we see it's on, sometimes we'll call it. But that's just something between the wing and the scrum off.
So as we've spoken about the time of the match earlier in the season and that, I mean, you played 2 games now, 3 o'clock, and have you been able to pick up any difference in the performance at that time compared to a 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock game?
Yeah, especially up here at home, the guys enjoy playing at 3 o'clock. As I said last time in a joke, the air is thinner at 3, but apparently, according to the clever guys, it's the same, at 5. But there's still it's all in the head, but I think the guys enjoy playing at 3 o'clock. A lot of our training on a Monday afternoon is 2:45. On a Tuesday afternoon, it's 2:15 in that time period. So We used where the sun is, where everything is. It's a time the guys do well.
Swys, Georgina Robinson here from the Sydney Morning Herald. First, thanks for the hospitality. You don't get this at Australian Super Rugby team announcements. Secondly, Tolu Latu is the only change in the front row and the whole team. What do you make of that change?
Yeah, look, good player. They've got a good depth in their system. They proved it all through the year. Apart from the good back, Georgina, their back, Kirtley, Foley, Falau, you've got to watch those. You know, if they get good platform, good go forward ball, those are the threats, if you ask me. But it's nice to have in the country, and I hope you enjoy the Boer as well.
He's obviously really good over the ball, Tolu Latu. That's probably why Daryl's done that. Is that a concession that the breakdown is?
Yeah, we thought we did sharpen. Even this today, we worked on our breakdown and those stealers, you know. So he's a threat, and we did recognise that.
And listen, you guys, third consecutive home semi-final and a final last year. Is the squad under any pressure to get the job done finally?
Yeah, you know, we don't, as they would know, right through the season, we really, it's a cliche, but we're process driven. As soon as you get ahead of yourself and think of too many things, it's just another, in fact, we break it down to the next scrum, the next line out. I always compare it with golf players. If I wake up in the morning, I say, I want to make 75 today, I'm not going to make 80. So it's a case of you've got to focus on the next shot. And I heard now, what's his name, the Italian that won the thing, he said he just took it shot by shot, you know, not getting influenced with anything. So that sort of motto, the same with Kevin Anderson, that what we saw now with Wimbledon, those sort of things we try and do with the team as well, to make sure that we stay in the moment and focus on the now. And it's working so far. And it's a big honour, and we're very humbled by the experience to have a third home semis, but you know, that's only part of the job for us. It's really just part of the job.
So earlier in the week, there was voices coming out of New Zealand that they feel that a side like the Lions that ended up losing to the Blues and the Reds this year that wouldn't deserve to be in the final. What would be your comment on that?
Oh, you know, that's their perception and that's their fact. All I can tell you, we never moan about travelling 4 weeks or blaming that. We travelled 4 weeks, they travelled 2. Makes a hell of a difference. Go and look at our results week 3 and 4 overseas. Greg knows. So I think it's a case of they just get on with the job, you know. We're a no-moan team, and I'm almost feeling sorry that I said it now because it sounds like I'm moaning, but hell, sport is an interesting thing. It can't always be the ref or the this or the that or the competition format or, you know, or injuries, that sort of thing. You've got to play the hand that was dealt for you. And yeah, that's my reaction on that, Krista.
Having said that, would you like to see a more equitable system in Super Rugby?
Obviously, we as sportsmen, we want the fairer, the better system. If we can travel 2 games and they travel 2, it'll be great. You know, and we want strength versus strength. We want a fair deal with the rest. We want 100% right. Any sportsman will tell you, the fairer the deal, the better for spectators, better for everyone. But honestly now, every time I've read something from down there, it's just reading that. So I would like to read just something else for a change.
So it's going back to what you were saying about being process-driven. Then maybe the question then comes, what has been your key, what have you guys been doing so differently compared to the other Super Rugby franchise here in South Africa who have failed to make it this far in the competition and you've consistently been in it?
Very good question. I think our structure, you know, starting with our CEO, Rudolph Stroley, through the management, very, very sound, very solid. We've got a policy of developing homegrown guys. I don't say to them, buy this, buy that, buy that. We rather get the best youngsters and make them part of the brotherhood and play for one another. So our value systems is totally different, I would think. You know, it's very easy just when you lose to go buy better players. Or this is not good enough, that's not good enough. So, and then the buy-in from everyone, our whole management. I must say our 3 young coaches, they all just won the under-19 thing last year, so they had no experience, firstly, of at this level whatsoever, and all 3 of them, that's Coach Neil, Joey and Philip, and it was marvellous to see how they've grown in our own system. So hats off to our leadership in this regard, you know, for the rugby guys, they understand South African rugby, and good management. I must compliment our medical team. Even now with the call of Carl Brink, it was I didn't want to be selfish because they said to me, you can wait till Saturday. I said, it's just not fair to the guy to prepare to do that for the next best guy. So to ask that, it's a blessed team. I thank God for every second that we can have with this team and the brotherhood and the camaraderie. And then I'm very, very lucky to have leaders in the spine and the guys like we have. And then maybe just lastly, you know, our psychologist, Yanni Patter, he's doing a great job. But all in all, I know it's brilliant leadership from the top that's got us here.
I'm sure it doesn't hurt the fact that you've been with this team for this long, especially when with Johan was here. You just carried on with that.
Yeah, I was fortunate from the day one. I arrived here, he gave me 100% authority to do the attack and to do the back line. Yeah, since that day, you know, we did do a lot. Some guys left and we blessed them, they carry on. And again this year, you know, they become good. And that's great, that's a life principle. It's a seasonal thing to try and keep them, and the money goes up and this, and you fight. It's just not worth it. Go well, buddy. It was great to have you. Who's the next guy? You know, that is I think what we should look at. I must say there was a lot of rumours that we lost so many and so many players, but the good news is a lot of the great guys are staying. Ross sitting here next to me, Malcolm Marks, Carl Brink, Warren Whiteley, Scotland's Kusang, Andries Kutsia. The list carries on. All the guys, most of the guys that played a big role in getting us here, they're still in the family. So that's great.
Elfie Nonkies? Is he staying?
I think so. Close. Let me put it that way.
Ross, it's now year 3 for you in the semi-final. Does it always get in a way easier every time?
It never gets easier.
Is it more difficult?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, very privileged to play in my third success. Third. Anyway, so thanks, guys. But yeah, no, just excited to go out there again in front of a hopefully full Ellis Park this weekend. There's no better feeling than running out there in front of a packed stadium. And I mean, playing here for me is there's nothing like it. There's no stadium where you can play running rugby like this, where it's generally dry. You can chuck that ball around and have fun with your mates.
Swys, just going back to the tactical kicking. Just going back to the tactical kicking. There's no secret that Waratahs is probably one of the best players under a contestable kick. Is the aerial battle something that you guys prepared well for this week going into this game?
Yeah, we were very aware of their threats, I must say. He's a wonderful player, 110 kgs, and sure, he's a tall guy, he's brilliant in the air, he's a good runner. So the whole trick will be for us to make sure that we don't give him that space. If he gets that space, you know you'll have to defend.
So as the only SA team left in the competition, do you think it's fair to say that the whole country should unite behind you on Saturday?
Yeah, you know, firstly Rudolf and our supporters, they to add to what Ross said, they're fantastic. And what I like about our supporters, even when we lost and they stick, you know, they great. That's what a supporter is, not only when you win. So hats off to all our great supporters. That's. What was your second part of the question again?
The whole country should unite behind the lines.
Yeah, no, it's. We would hope so. We would hope so. You can never tell a guy who you should shout for. What did happen? And Yanni Pitter drove it about. Is that the right word, drove, Ross?
Very good.
Very good. 3-4 years ago, he drove the thing that we must become the team of choice. I'm a bull, but I like the Lion style of play. I'm a Western Province guy through thick and thin, but there's something with the Lions. If we can have that going, then we're making a difference in young men's lives and stuff like that, Rudolf.
Swys, have you sent Chris Boyd that message of well wishes?
No, he knows very well. You know, him and Plum, all of us, Rudolf worked with them, I worked with them, we know one another well. And there might be, I don't know, Greg, you could maybe tell me more, but there might be a good game there tomorrow morning. You know, so we really... But then on the other hand, you know, whatever happens, we must just bring our part.
Then, Coach, I mean, obviously, if you do win against Waratahs, is that prospect of maybe correcting some wrongs in the past if you face the Hurricanes or the Crusaders from last year, using those finals to the two?
Yeah, as soon as you, we've learned, Ross, as soon as you focus on opponents or revenge or those sort of things, you take the eye off the ball. So it's in the back burner. But whatever team, if you can firstly, big honour if you can make a final, that's fantastic. And then if you can go and finish it, that must be gold, the ultimate.
Swys, three things. Firstly, all of Australia and all of South Africa will be cheering for the Hurricanes. Rest assured. Secondly, when I get out of bed in the morning, I aim to break 100, not 75. So get that off my chest. But thirdly, the 29-0 last time, so you're obviously expecting something a bit closer this time.
Yeah, definitely. Different situation. I said it earlier, Greg, well, that day everything went for us. Every bounce of the ball, and nothing worked for them. And you get those games. So we can't even think of that. In fact, we didn't even show those clips of those games because it's a long time ago. They've won the up. What's more important, they've scored 73 tries. And so they know how to find your try line. So that's more important. And then just what's your handicap then if you can't shoot 100?
19.
Okay.
Last question.
Just from a player's point of view, on what the coach was saying, okay, I know you didn't play that day, but you know, don't you think sometimes something sits in the back of your head? You beat the guys 29-0 on their home ground, now you play on your home ground, that there could be almost a danger of complacency in thinking, well, we should beat them.
No, definitely not. You have a look at the last couple of games that the Waratahs have been playing. They've been playing some great footy. I think they're starting to peak, to be honest. They're getting back to their old form where they actually won the Super Rugby a couple of years ago. So we know that it's going to be a seriously tough game this weekend, and we've prepared ourselves as best as possible. So yeah, hopefully we can accept the challenge ahead.
Thanks everyone.
It's been a bit of a disruptive season for you, and obviously disappointing losing your place in the Springboks. But apart from obviously being, focusing on the team winning on Saturday, how determined are you personally just to end Super Rugby really strongly and maybe get back into Rassie Rasmussen's thoughts?
That's actually not in my mind at the moment. My mind's purely fixed on the next game this weekend, and hopefully after that a final. If it happens, great, but I can only control the controllables in my life, and yeah, just excited for this weekend.
Thanks guys. Everyone